Our next guest went from the football field to becoming an Oscar winner. In 2020, Matthew A. Cherry won an Academy Award for his short animated film Hair Love, which is then turned into a New York Times best-selling picture book. Now, his short film has been turned into an animated series called Young Love. I caught up with Matthew to find out more. Take a look.
I was gonna make pancakes, but I can't seem to find
Way ahead of you, babe. Check it.
Since when did we start nuking our pancakes?
Since you were in a hospital, I had to implement some shortcuts.
Like when we ran out of soap and you gave me a bath with the dishes? Or when we were all out of rubber bands and you used zip ties on my hair? Or when you couldn't help me with my homework and we had to get help from the Postmates guy?
Hey, modern problems require modern solutions.
I love that you've brought the Young family that we fell in love with Hair Love back to our screens. Why did you want to continue this series?
So actually, they're the Young Loves, believe it or not. Angela Young and Stephen Love, because they're not married yet. We thought that was a nice little Easter egg to put in there.
Why you got grill marks on the back of your shirt?
Oh, y'all never heard of George Foreman?
We just really were going for a show that was relatable. I'd never seen an animated sitcom that focused around a millennial family. You know, like I'm from the Midwest and, you know, I currently live in LA though. And, you know, in the Midwest, people tend to have kids a little earlier, right? You know, the rent isn't as crazy as it is on the coast. And so you can start having a family in your 20s and you start getting into your kind of first promotions when you're in your mid 20s. And so just really wanted to explore that world of being a young parents in your 20s, but also not quite being where you want to be in your career wise. So you're trying to still achieve these dreams in your career, but you're also still trying to be very present for your kid. And the show's also multi-generational. We introduce Zuri's grandparents and Russell and Gigi. And it's just a really fun show. Like we really wanted it to be relatable and something that the entire family could watch together.
Well, and I want people to know, I mean, you've got Issa Rae, Tamar Braxton, Loretta Devine. I mean, the actors and actresses that you have on this are just incredible.
Yeah, Shirley Ralph, you know, Kid Cudi. Yeah, and an incredible actress in Brooke Monroe Conway, who plays Zuri, too, who's about to be a star because she killed it as Zuri.
She was, I loved her. But also, this has so much heart. But I got to say, I'm a cat person, and I love Rocky the cat. Rocky steals the screen sometimes.
Yeah, you know, Rocky was a big part of the short and the book, and so we definitely want to make sure that we gave him a look upgrade. You know, the mustache is a little fuller, and he has a little bit more markings on the belly. But you know, Rocky is still that same sassy cat that we know from real life.
Oh,
how cats can be.
Oh, yes, exactly. So much fun. I got to say, Matthew, you played in the NFL. You had this career, but then you continued to pursue this passion in filmmaking. And I know you went from, you know, production assistant, now you're an Oscar winner. So when you look back on these last 10, 15 years or so, what do you think about with this journey of yours?
The funniest thing I always tell people is that I get more love for being a former NFL player than I ever did when I was in the league because I was very much a journeyman player and wasn't nobody thinking about me when I was actually playing. But you know, I think it's just like really representative of real life, right? Like, you know, particularly if you're an athlete or you work in the arts, you know, like I played sports since I was like 5 years old until basically 25. You know, the first 20 out of my 25 years of my life were dedicated to this one thing. And then it just went away. And, you know, life is long. Like to retire at 25, like if you only have one kind of passion, like you're going to be messed up because, you know, from 25 on, you have a lot of life left to leave. And thankfully, I knew I had this passion in entertainment. Didn't know what exactly, but I knew that it maybe be TV, maybe it'd be radio, you know, maybe it'd be like local news or something. I just didn't know exactly what. And just kind of like all these crazy circumstances happened around me where I ended up in LA and got a chance to work on the set of like Girlfriends, you know, their final season, and just being in the right place at the right time and kind of seeing Black directors like directing in front of me. And I didn't even know what, you know, Black directors were a thing, you know, like that. I knew they existed, but I never seen them in person doing their thing. And so I always tell people, like, to see somebody that looks like you doing a job that you didn't know exists really can change your life. And that's really what happened for me. And so I just kind of started working my way up from music videos to short films to independent features all the way up to Hair Love.
And now you are that for other young budding filmmakers and directors and those in the industry as well. Matthew A. Cherry, so good to talk to you. Congrats.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, no, I hope people dig the show.
An incredible story, a great show. All episodes of Young Love are out now, streaming on Max.